Update on the weather situation across the region. We have this area of low pressure that continues to spin in a stationary fashion across portions of Tennessee and Alabama, and it's just sending a lot of moisture into our region in the form of heavy rain. In the warm sector of the system, though, down toward Charleston, there's actually a tornado warning in effect for Charleston County. So you can see a lot of energetic thunderstorm activity down there with heavy rain, but we have our own fair share of heavy rain in our region starting to take shape. Now, earlier we did have a flash flood warning for downtown Greenville back to the south and west into Anderson and Hart counties along Interstate 85. The good news, that has been allowed to expire. We have seen flood warnings be issued in replace of those, so it's not over the flood threat, but the threat for rapidly rising water has gone down, at least temporarily. We're seeing more of a scattered shower situation set up in some of those spots, and in some cases it's fully dry for the time being. Over into Spartanburg County, Enoree, Woodruff, these spots starting to get in on some heavier rain, and you have missed out in large part throughout this morning and now into this afternoon, but it's picking up as we get past the lunch hour. And into Spartanburg County, basically the entire county seeing some heavy rain move through. This also stretches back to the GSP Airport or just north of there toward Greer and Taylor's, and then up toward Highland, and then you get up into Boiling Springs and up into the foothills, and we continue to see some pretty heavy rain falling there. Stretching up into Polk, Rutherford, and McDowell counties, basically from Columbus, Tryon, Lake Lure, up to Old Fort and Marion. There's just kind of a train of very heavy rain, and I think this is where the next focus of very heavy rain and eventually some flash flood threats will develop. And there's no reason, or no surprise, I should say, that we have a moderate to high risk of flash flooding and excessive rain. Please note that the entire region is still in a risk, but it does look like that the red and pink shaded areas will have the highest threat for flash flooding going forward over the next 12 to 18 hours. And that's really the same spot that has a flash flood watch. That means, again, conditions are favorable for flash flooding. We've already seen it this morning, and I expect it to continue into this afternoon and tonight. Here's a look at Futurecast right at noon, doing a pretty good job of showing you where those downpours are. And please note also that we will have some breaks at times this afternoon. It will not be fully raining everywhere for the entirety of the afternoon, but where it does rain, it will be heavy and it will be steady and persistent for several hours. This is a look at 5 p.m. Heavy rain will continue, pushing right into the mountains. And again, landslide potential will be enhanced in some of these spots as well. Into the overnight hours. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that we'll catch a break anytime soon, at least for the entire region. This is again at midnight, the heaviest axis of rain still with us, but by daybreak on Thursday, we should see the bulk of that rain shift east of our area. Though we will still see some lingering downpours across the region, it does also look like that a lot of the upstate will be starting to dry out by that point. Winds this morning also, and now into this afternoon out of the north and east. We have a cool air wedge set up, and basically that means temperatures will not be budging. But the problem is that these winds have caused likely some trees to come down so far today. We've seen that. They've blocked some roadways at times. So that just means, and that just goes to show you that if you have to travel, do so with caution, but stay home if you can. 40s and 50s. It is 48 chilly degrees in Spartanburg in late May with rain pouring down. A very odd setup around here. To contrast that, where it's not raining as much, Franklin, North Carolina at 62 degrees. Here's your 7-day forecast. Temperature staying in the 50s with that 100% chance of rain for the rest of the day today into Memorial Day weekend. We've got a big warm up coming. 80s by Saturday and Sunday. Spotty downpours are possible, especially during the afternoon, but it doesn't look like widespread heavy rain is in the cards after today, which is good news. Memorial Day Monday, a 30% chance of rain there with highs in the lower 80s.